Welcome, I'm Halcyon, this is Hug Nation. And today, I have to give a TMI warning. Too much information may be shared in this broadcast. It may cause you to judge me harshly, think less of me, or at least go, eee. I woke up in the middle of the night multiple times with uncontrollable itching. Now, I've had mosquito bites before. I have had dry patches on my skin. This was not that. My butt was itching. And there are very few phrases that I have dreaded looking up online more than anal itching. I guess burns when I pee is up there, but... So, go to Google, type it in, and it was kind of what I feared. It looked like I had hemorrhoids. No! Once my horror of seeing my diagnosis kind of faded, I kept reading it and realized actually it's a best case scenario. Because lower on the list of possible things that could be anal itching is pinworms. The most common symptom of pinworms is an itchy rectal area. Symptoms are worse at night when the female worms are most active and crawl out of the anus to deposit their eggs. And there was one site that had a little rhyme to help you because you don't want to spread those worms. It said, if you're gonna scratch your bum, please don't suck your thumb. Nothing like a little horrible possibility to make you feel better about your hemorrhoids. The next day, I kind of convinced my parents that I had a need to go to Walgreens without telling them why. I was too embarrassed to tell my parents, both in their 70s, but still, I was too embarrassed to tell my own parents who have wiped shit off of me when I was a baby, too embarrassed to tell them that I had this embarrassing body function, this ailment that had to do with my bum. We go to Walgreens and I ditched them. I'm looking where I think it should be. I'm looking, and a guy who works there, the employee, is like, can I help you find anything? It's like, I think I'm good. I'm looking, and a couple minutes later he comes by, he's like, are you still good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Meanwhile, I know my parents are like, gotta be wondering, where is he? And so I'm like, so I go to the guy and I'm like, hey, yeah, give up. I need to find Prep H. And he kind of looks at me and he smiles, he goes, I work in a drugstore. This is what I do. So I get home from the trip and I reluctantly shared with my girlfriend this ailment that I was dealing with. And she's like, oh, do you want me to have a look at it? And I was like, no. And then she made some joke about poop emojis or something like that. And I was like, knock it off. Like super defensive. And she was like, look, remember when I had some female issues and I was all insecure and you said, hey, it's not your problem, it's our vagina. I was like, right, okay, all right, thanks. So I shared with her what was going on. I still haven't showed her or asked her to have a look because, I mean, it's one thing to like pee with the door open. It's a whole nother level to spread him and say, what do you see? What do you see? As I am getting over my fears, as I am showing radical transparency over my rectal itching, I'm also trying to process why it is that is so shameful. Why is it so important to feel like I'm the epitome of health and nothing goes wrong and, you know, I am not broken in any way? And I remember some conversations with my grandpa that really have helped me reshape the whole thing. There was one time after he had some procedure done at the hospital, and we were hanging out, and he was explaining what they did. And he said, well, you see, they went in and they put a shunt in my penis. And I was like, and he looked at me, he's like, this is gonna be your body someday. You gotta know this stuff. I was like, right. And he just had this attitude so much like, oh, this spaceship that I'm riding in needs repairs because it's been cruising for so long. It's finally had some things breaking down, and lucky us, there's ways to fix it or keep it going in some way. Like, woohoo, modern science is amazing. But he did not have that attachment to the body. And maybe that's good for me to have some things break down, to break down my attachment to the physical body. My favorite story about my grandpa and that okayness, that separation from his physical self, was told to me by one of the nurses at his retirement village. She said that he had requested a raised toilet seat for his bathroom, which is not uncommon for elderly people. And she said, "Oh, Mr. Sheichels, are you having trouble getting up and down off the toilet? Is your knees or back or legs hurting you?" And he said, No, my testicles are dipping in the water." Matter of fact, that's the way the body works. I'm blessed to have this vessel. Yes, it is our temple. We need to treat it well. We need to feed it well. We need to do whatever we can to keep it healthy and functioning. But we also need to forgive it. We need to understand that it is limited. We understand that we are fragile beings that only last a blip of time in the cosmic spectrum. And we need to take these ailments as reminders of how precious everything is. I, in this moment, am grateful for my hemorrhoids. A reminder of what a blessing it is to be able to sit, to be able to experience, to be able to walk this walk, even if I can't always sit this sit. Whatever your body state is in, I hope that you too are able to enjoy and appreciate and be at peace with this vessel that you are walking in. I am so grateful to be able to share this journey with you. I love you. One of the gifts of Burning Man is being able to step outside of your patterns. And if you don't have to eat breakfast in the morning, are you really hungry? Or is it a habit that you have? You normally wear pants every day. Do you have to? A kilt actually makes a lot more sense when it's that hot, especially for someone with hemorrhoids.